previewing the game between Gujarat and Punjab, which is the early game on Sunday. Punjab hoping to avoid 5 losses on a row after having won the first 2. Gujarat buoyed by the fact that they actually managed to win against Kolkata at the Eden Gardens. It's at Rajkot, where Gujarat don't enjoy playing for some reason. Ajit Agarkar has played at Rajkot as a bowler and not enjoyed playing as well. Brad Hogg has memories of Rajkot, which are not fond, but we'll come to them in a minute. Let's enter matchday match point number 1. I don't think it's a kind word to use, but we've used it just the same. The not so good bowlers take on the not so good bowlers of the tournament. They've not had the best of numbers, at least. So let's start the conversation by showing you why we are calling them the worst 2 bowling attacks of the tournament. The economy of Gujarat 9.66. The economy of Punjab 9.01. All the other teams yet to touch the 9 and over mark. So these are teams that plenty of runs are scored against. They rely on their batting, not on their bowling. So let's go to Brad Hogg first to maybe break up and tell me, when 2 fairly poor bowling attacks come together, what usually can be the difference? Hoggy, 45 seconds for you to sum up the bowling attack.
Well, I've got to say it's not going to be much different at Rajkot because it is batting paradise up there. But if you look at Kings 11, they're probably playing away from the ground that most suits them, and that's in Mohali, where it seems and does swing a little bit more than indoor. But I think both teams just haven't been able to dominate in the death overs. That's where Kings 11 really fall apart. And even Gujarat, I just don't think they have enough variation. They don't back themselves to bowl that variation. They try and bowl the straight Yorkers, they're not landing them. They've got to try and bowl slower balls, short balls, wide balls, really change it up. Do something different rather than doing what they're doing now. And just back themselves to do something different. They
have to, because if they're doing, they do continue doing what they've been doing. You've seen the numbers that's produced. Ajit, these are 2 teams that have relied, or at least gone with the plan that their Indian bowlers are going to get them their results. It's not quite happened. We saw Gujarat still not make a change as far as the bowling when they stuck with the extra batsmen. Can they rely on the young Indian contingent that they've got? Can Natarajan be brought back? Should Nathu Singh be given a go? Just your assessment of 2 teams that have actually relied on their Indian seamers to carry their bowling. 45 seconds.
Well, firstly, they've relied on their Indian seamers because they don't have great overseas seamers. I mean, Andrew Tye for Gujarat, and I think Matt Henry, if I'm not wrong, is probably the only overseas guy.
If you count him.
Well, I mean, Stoinis is he's an all-rounder. So and he hasn't done well enough with the ball. I think Raina has not led some of the bowlers quite well. I think he's not bowled guys in the right positions that they need to. He trusts Pravin Kumar with the new ball, but Dhaval Kulkarni was their best bowler with the new ball last year. And a couple of the games he's maybe fallen short. So maybe the decision making and generally the personnel. Bravo's a big miss for Gujarat, but Kings 11, just their personnel is probably not good enough at this point to contain. So they've got to find different ways, and at the moment, the 2 captains have to step up.
Yeah, maybe in a bit when I see the teams that these 2 have predicted, I'll see whether they've gone for a change of personnel. But bowling is a concern for both those teams. Let's move to matchday match point number 2 in this Gujarat-Punjab game. And he started this season well as Brendan McCullum. He's been probably their best opening batsman, of which they've had half a dozen already. And that takes us to what could be his Achilles heel. Now we, of course, take the lead of our stats team and they try and dig out the data which tells you whether a player has a certain weakness. Brendan McCullum apparently has a weakness against left-arm orthodox spin, strike rate of just over 100, which is not as good if you look at Brendan McCullum against other forms of bowlers, and an average of 23. 17 dismissals is what stand out. You've been a bowler who's bowled left-arm spin, unorthodox left-arm spin to Brendan McCullum. Is that something that Punjab could exploit, given that they do have Akshar and possibly the extra left-arm spin of Swapnil Singh if they choose it?
Yeah, I think they've got to open up with the left arm off spin up front. Where McCullum does fall down, he's got out 17 times as the stats show there, but 13 of those times have been in the deep, either at deep cover, deep mid wicket, and that's because he plays a horizontal bat. If he's trying to go over the covers, the ball might hold up, gets the thick edge to deep cover, or if he's trying to pull it over mid on, because it's held up, he's pulling it to mid-wicket. What I'd like to see him do out Rajkot is play more conventional, start timing the ball and try and back himself to play straight over mid-off and mid-on and try and hit that straight boundary, because from what we've seen so far, it's not turning much with the new ball with spin in those early overs. So I'm not
Perfect.
the best bet.
You've just got it right. You don't need to say anything more. The Hooter's done it for you. Ajit, we spoke of Raina's captaincy. What about Glenn Maxwell and his use of the Indian bowlers? He's been fairly conventional, using Ishant Sharma or Sandeep Sharma or whichever Sharma he plays to take the new ball. Can things be different when McCullum takes strike for Gujarat?
The biggest challenge is don't have spin bowling apart from Akshar Patel, and that's where they're struggling to find another guy who can do a job. If you look throughout the IPL, you need to play two spinners. Most teams need to. Yeah, obviously, if you have the quality, and a lot of teams don't. Punjab definitely don't have the quality, which is why then their whole balance goes out of sync a little bit. But their seamers, their Indian seamers are now experienced guys. All the seamers except maybe Natarajan, Ishant Sharma, Sandeep Sharma, Mohit Sharma, and Varun Aaron. They're all experienced seamers. One of them or two of them have to step up for Punjab to have any chance, because they don't have a overseas quick, or they're not playing the one that they have. But the Indian bowlers have to do the job, and at the moment it becomes harder job for the captain if the form's not good, or the bowlers either.
Well, they've got a team which is also struggling against to get a decent string of wins together. So let's see if Punjab's bowlers like playing Gujarat, Gujarat's bowlers like playing Punjab. We need to first see which bowlers will play, which batsmen will play. We're looking at the experts playing 11. I must say they've got it fairly right so far, Brad Hogg and Ajit Agarkar. So clearly someone in the team management is watching this, or there's some quiet communication going on under the table between Ajit and Brad and their respective Indian and Australian friends in the coaching camps. We start with Brad Hogg, and I'm not going to reveal if he's spoken to to Brad Hodge or not, but the team he's gone with that's interesting, Hoggy. You've left out Dwayne Smith. There's a lot of call for that in order to play the two overseas quicks in Faulkner and Andrew Tye. You've been bidding for Munaf Patel for a while now, and you found a place for him in place of Praveen Kumar. Your thoughts in 45 seconds to take me through that team.
Well, Munaf Patel comes in because their spin's not doing their job. I think they can rely on the top 5 batsmen to do the bulk of the run scoring. James Faulkner, Jadeja coming in out 6 and 7. I think they can rely on them just to finish off the innings, and that gives you 6 quality bowling options. But the thing with the bowling options, Raina's got to use them the right way. So Kulkarni's got to open, Tempe's got to open, and Faulkner and Tye have got to be used in the middle overs and the death overs. And Jadeja's also got to be used outside the power play. Obviously, Tye and Faulkner can be used in that power play, but 6 bowling options, I think, is the way to go for Gujarat Lions, especially on Rajkot.
Raina's considered himself a bowling option. Just one quick one for you, Ajit. Nathu Singh, time for him to get a go if he's fit, or not yet?
No, that team that Brad picked is a good one. I'd not play Praveen Kumar for sure. I don't think he's almost like a Dhawal Kulkarni, but Dhawal Kulkarni at the moment is bowling better than him. So you got to get Munaf in. Yeah, I think so. There's no place for Nathu Singh yet because Thampi is doing a really good job. I'd like to see him play, but at the moment they've got to play the best bowling combination possible.
And you brought up Raina there too, and his couple of overs last game kept them in the contest. So they've got 7 bowling options really, if you count Raina.
All right, and Raina's runs might just help him pick up a side which needs a few wins. Let's look at what Ajit Agarkar's gone for Punjab. He wouldn't want to be the bowling coach of this team, or maybe he wants to because there's a lot that he can provide, a lot of information. Hashim Amla off that brilliant 100, albeit in a losing cause. If Manan Bora is fit and fine, he comes straight back in for Gurkirat, say you, Ajit. And then apart from that, you've stuck with Marcus Stoinis, and you've asked for Natarajan or Varun Aaron to take the place of Ishant Sharma. Off you go in 45.
Yeah, Ishant Sharma clearly is not doing the job. He had one decent game against Hyderabad where he bowled well with the new ball, but for such an experienced campaigner, just not doing enough. Puts too much pressure on then the other guys. Rajkot, don't need too many spin options. If there was a better option than Marcus Stoinis, I would have picked that, but I don't think looking at the squad, they have anyone who bats and bowls. You need 6 bowlers. It's hard this format to just have 5 bowlers, and they don't have good enough 5 bowlers to make that work. And hopefully Manan Vohra's fit, because that innings that he played against Hyderabad was one of the best innings of this tournament. So, they need to start picking up some wins, otherwise it just becomes a long season.
All right, it's going to be a long afternoon because a 4 o'clock game at Rajkot in the middle of April. May good luck to both teams and with struggling bowling attacks. That's the early game on Sunday. Let's talk about the second game now that takes place on Sunday, and RCB have had a bit of a break in the tournament. They're back now, so let's see what they've done. They take on KKR, who've actually was surprised with a home defeat by Gujarat, but it remains at Kolkata where they've been good by and large. Gautam Gambhir's side. Chris Gale's home and away form, or Chris Gale's home away from home, beg your pardon, is what we're talking about. It's been his home before, and his numbers are very, very good in the IPL at the Eden Gardens. So it takes us to our first match day match point. Let's have a look at what we're talking about when it comes to Chris Gale at the Eden Gardens. Remember, he's coming off a match-winning 77 in that last game against Gujarat. An average of 84 at the Eden Gardens against 58. That is an extraordinary average anyway to have in the IPL. And 162 as against 158. Great player Chris Gale. We saw shades of that in the last innings that we saw. Ajit, Chris Gale at the Eden Gardens, we've seen what he can do. And he's up against a Bangalore bowling attack that still has, a KKR bowling attack that's been pretty good in the tournament so far. Thoughts on how much of an impact player he could be?
Well, he's got 10,000 T20 runs. That's how much of an impact player he is. That's just a ridiculous number. I mean, for someone... I played with him for KKR when he was at KKR. I don't think he had too much success in that one season. The other season he was injured. But since he joined RCB, you've seen, and obviously likes batting at the Eden Gardens. Is one of the iconic venues in India. Probably feels at home there as well when playing for the other team.
Yeah.
He struck form at he started the tournament well that first innings. Played a monster that day against Gujarat. RCB would be desperately hoping that he has a consistent season because AB is sort of struggling for fitness a little bit. But Chris Gale, if he's on form, they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, well, maybe you just got him to nick it again and again when he's playing for
It's a tough attack he's playing against, so it'll be a big challenge.
That's the question, Brad Hogg. When you play Chris Gale there, small ground, likes playing there, lots of spinners, do you want a slightly different... I'm not saying the local teams ever doctor the strip, but would you like something... we'll just have a quick look at some more numbers before I come to Hoggy. And when it comes to Chris Gale, we've also got how he does against other batsmen at the Eden Gardens. Average of 84 as against Rohit Sharma, who we also know loves his affair at the Eden Gardens. And Mahela Jayawardene surprisingly also features on that list. Sorry Mahela, I don't mean surprisingly in a bad way, but 106 of an average. Well done. Just to talk about how good he is, would KKR want to prepare a slightly customized course on that pitch for him?
Well, he's got a strike rate of 162 there. Now, I think the biggest contest in this ground, or this game, is Coulton Isle against Gale. I think Gale, 37 now, I think he's just lost a little bit of sharpness to pace, and if you see the last couple of games where he's done the damage, it's mainly against spin. Tampy the other day troubled him in that particular over that he bowled to Gale, so Kolkata will want to get him early. I'd suggest that they bowl pace to him out the start, and if they don't get him out early and the spinners are coming on, they'll hope that they've got wickets out the other end, so they hope that they've got RCB 4 down, so that Chris Gale starts to think in his mind that he's got to play a little bit more tentatively to make sure that he bats through the whole innings.
Okay. Let's take this to match day match point number 2. It's one thing for Chris Gale that he needs to do a job with the bat. Bangalore's bowlers, though, haven't quite done the job with the ball. Now, these are pacers that lack a bit of sting, and they've tried a few. Adam Milne has kept his place. I don't know what as far as Taimul Mill's fitness is concerned. But if you look at the pace bowlers like Srinath Arvind, Shane Watson, even Stuart Binney a little bit, 9.54 the economy for pace as against spin and an average of 39. They've got a few wickets, but just 23 wickets have fallen to pacers at the Eden Gardens this season. Ajit, Bangalore's pacers, they're struggling to find the ideal combination. Is this back to last year with Virat Kohli saying, let's just put whatever bowlers we can out, hope for the best and then get the runs?
Yeah, I quite like the look of Adam Milne.
Yes.
He looked quite impressive. Watson's had a patchy sort of tournament, bowled a couple of good overs, couple of bad ones, has given a few runs away in those. They need to find options because unfortunately for them, it's not, or at least yet, it's not been the Gale, Kohli and AB show, which has carried them through last season. You can't rely on that happening every season. Although, Chris Gale looked ominous in the last game, he's but he's up against a better attack, a bit better with more quality, a bit more pace in that attack. So we'll have to wait and see because their bowlers need to step up. They just look. It's a hard ground. If the pitch is a good one, it's a hard ground to stop runs, and their bowlers will have to be at their best.
Brad, can they decide that their best bowling lineup doesn't include necessarily Taimur Mills, but the way Adam Milne has done decently, and maybe Samuel Badri merits a place ahead of Shane Watson? What's been the best look of the RCB bowling lineup for you?
Well, Badri's got to be in there. He's the most economical, and he can do the job in the first 6 overs as well in that power play. That's where he does most of the damage because he's quicker than Chahal. Chahal's better in that middle period, and he skids the ball on, which troubles a lot of batsmen. So I think Badri's got to come in, and they're going to have to bat a little bit lighter. I know it's a huge risk, but they've got to rely on their top 4. Whether they go with Head or AB de Villiers, it's up to them. AB de Villiers might not be fit, or he might be fit tonight, and Jardev has been batting well. So I think you'll find that they'll bat a little bit shorter. Watson will be going out, and they'll lengthen their bowling attack. I think Nagy, the left arm offie, I think he does a great job as well.
Okay, let's make that conversation larger now about what the playing 11s could be as we look at the possible playing 11 that Ajit and Brad have picked. Now remember, this is Bangalore after a few days off, so they've had some time for players that haven't been feeling too good, the likes of de Villiers or Mills, to get to full fitness. But Brad Hogg has indeed picked that playing 11, so let me see what you've gone for. Yeah, you've left it open. If de Villiers is fit, I'm guessing you pick him over Travis Head. Adam Milne stays in your team. Samuel Badri is who you've brought in for Shane Watson, like you said, Brad, and you stick with Mandeep Singh, Stuart Binney, Pawan Negi as the Indian contingent in the middle lower order. Just your thoughts to take me through that team in 45 seconds.
Well, for me, I hope Aravind can step up. He's okay with the new ball, but out the death, he's a little bit of an issue. Milne, well, it speaks for himself. He's been bowling better than Mills, and they've been really relying heavily on Chahal. I think he's a quality bowler and is really improving as each year goes by. To me, they've got to rely on that top 4 to get the bulk of the runs and have more bowling options, and that's why I've left Binney in there. I think Mandeep Singh, Binney, Negi can just finish off the innings if the top 4 get them away to a good start. So simple as that.
All right. Well, they hope they don't get much work with that kind of top 4. You don't want Binney and Negi.
Well, that's when you go in with a lineup like that and you've got those quality batters, you don't expect your bottom half to see much of the batting side of things.
All right, let's see if Ajit's made any changes to a Kolkata side that might have been just poked a little, or I won't call it a rude shock that they lost at the Eden Gardens to a struggling Gujarat team. I don't think you've made a change, so you've stuck with Shakib Al Hasan, Ajit, and there's no room for any changes in your team. What I'm interested to see is whether that stays the opening combination for Kolkata, whether Sunil Narayan, wonder boy that he is at the top of the order, plays for KKR. All yours.
Yeah, I think they'll probably open with Narayan after that 3-over blitz that he had against Gujarat. I mean, if it's working, you may as well continue it. I don't have an issue. I think Gambhir and Uttapa can slow down at times. Even if they make a change, if they bring Grandam or somebody else, it's still a formidable squad that they have. I don't think they lose too much because they have 3 decent seamers in Coulter-Nile, Umesh and Vokes, who have a bit of pace, and you'll need that against Chris Gayle up front. And spin, again, they could easily tinker with Piyush Chawla instead of Kuldeep Yadav and still not lose a lot. But they've got a really settled squad. Shakib, again, just played 1 game. There's not too much mistakes that you can find in the KKR squad. Very, very formidable.
All right, thank you very much.
They gain extra batting with Chawla.
With Chawla?
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't need that. I mean, they barely use the
neither of these guys
batting.
Should go. Surya goes in playing 3-4 balls for that. But anyway, thank you, Ajit Agarkar, Brad Hogg. We're going to have more fun with them before these games. If you want to watch that, 7:30 p.m. on the site, Indian Standard Time, as well as on our Facebook page. Of course, provided that the first game doesn't delay us, but we will build up to the second game. Catch all our content on Facebook, on our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube channel. Please subscribe there if you haven't already. We'll see how that double header on Sunday goes.